Tonight on KVR News, see how a proposal on public restrooms may benefit the Austin community.
Another business closes on the drag.
And students beware, scammers are targeting your wallets.
You're watching KVR News, your leader for live, local UT coverage.
Broadcasting live from the Texas Student Television Studios at the University of Texas. You're watching KVR News at 9, Austin's leader for live, local UT coverage. Your news starts right now.
Good evening and welcome back to KVR News for Monday, February 15th. I'm Avery Travis.
And I'm Jina Chung. Thank you for joining us.
Associate Supreme Court Justice Anthonin Scalia was found dead over the weekend at a ranch located in West Texas. The 79-year-old's body was discovered in his room at the Cibolo Creek Ranch near Marfa early Saturday morning. An anonymous federal official stated that Scalia died of natural causes and that there was no evidence of foul play. Texas Governor Greg Abbott released a statement responding to his death later that afternoon, calling Scalia, quote, an unwavering defender of the written Constitution. Anthonin Scalia was appointed to the Supreme Court back in 1986.
The death of Supreme Court Justice Anthonin Scalia leaves the U.S. Supreme Court evenly divided between liberals and Republicans. Scalia's death could lead to more 4-4 ties in Supreme Court cases. Cases involving abortion, affirmative action, and immigration cases are only some of the few that remain pending. Obama plans to assign a new court justice before the end of his term. However, a number of leading Republicans said they would oppose any attempt by Obama to nominate a new justice.
According to the university's Election Supervisory Board, student government president candidate Kevin Helgren and running mate Bina Kim have violated the student government election code. Candidates can campaign beginning on February 17th. However, Helgren and Kim attempted to solicit the support of a candidate for editor-in-chief at the Daily Texan, Alexander Chase, before the set date. This resulted in a Class B violation, and the candidates are not allowed to campaign until February 18th. The candidates have chosen to appeal to the Student Government Judicial Court.
Austin City Council will let voters decide the fate of new regulations on ride-sharing companies such as Uber. The council voted not to adopt an ordinance drafted as part of a petition that gathered support of more than 65,000 people. The council plans to send the ride-sharing rules to a public vote on May 7th. The council will call the official election next week. Shares of the Pandora Media plummeted Friday. The internet radio company recently reported fourth quarter earnings that fell short of Wall Street expectations. Pandora faces increasing competition for users from Apple Music, Spotify, and other streaming services. Pandora said that a number of active listeners fell less than 1% to 81.1 million.
Pita Pit on the section of the drag has closed. No statement has been released on this closure, yet this is the third closure of a business on the drag in the current school year. Last semester, Noodles & Co. and ATX Books closed, and Hole in the Wall was in danger of closing. ATX Books owner Ken Jones says his decision was backed by students' negative feelings surrounding textbooks. Noodles & Co. and Hole in the Wall both face financial issues, but unlike the others, Hole in the Wall is still open today. UT will assist Brazil in the fight against the Zika virus pandemic. UT reached an agreement with the Brazilian government for $1.9 million in an attempt to create a vaccine for the disease. The goal of the agreement would be to have the vaccine ready for clinical testing within the next 12 months. Brazilian Health Minister Marcelo Castro said he was optimistic that a cure could be ready for distribution within 3 years. The project will be a collaboration with the UT Medical Branch in Galveston and the Evandro Chagas Institute in the city of Belém.
Coming up next, scam artists target UT students again.
And Longhorn women's basketball looks to bounce back after a loss to OU. Stay tuned for more KVR News.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
We've all been there. You're out and about when suddenly you've got to go. We went out to see how a proposal for free public restrooms in Austin might make situations like that a little bit easier. When nature calls, there's not much you can do about it, especially in downtown Austin, where free public restrooms are scarce. The Health and Human Services Committee of Austin City Council has recently discussed the installation of free 24-hour public restrooms to help curb instances of human waste in public spaces. Mayor Pro Tem Kathy Tovo says it's not only an issue of cleanliness for our city, but also of personal dignity.
There are a lot of people using the streets and the alleys, and it's creating an unhealthy, unsanitary situation. And, no one wants to have to use the restroom outside.
There have been issues with people using the bathroom in public in places like this, an alley near the University of Texas. Also in places around downtown, around 6th Street, and in areas off of Riverside. These are all locations that are being talked about to be locations for these free public restrooms. Most UT students we talked to agreed, saying that accommodations need to be made, but many had concerns.
I don't think it would ultimately be used for the purposes it was designed to be used for. I think a lot of shady things would happen and a lot of people would take advantage of it.
Well, one thing will happen. People are still going to pee wherever they want to when they're drunk on 6th.
I think it's a very good idea. I think hopefully the homeless population will use them, and then even students like late at night and stuff who are like around the drag.
It would keep the streets a lot more sanitary.
The proposal passed 3-1, with Councilwoman Ellen Troxclair abstaining from the vote, saying that we need more information on how to handle safety and upkeep. I'm Avery Travis, KVR News.
Texas is the first state to recommend banning bite mark analysis in criminal cases. This technique matches bite marks on victims' skin to the teeth of a potential suspect. However, since the year 2000, at least 24 men who were charged with murder or rape based on bite mark analysis have been released. Critics have called it, quote, junk science, while supporters cite how it helped convict serial killers such as Ted Bundy. The use of this technique is not recommended by the Texas Forensic Science Commission and will now face greater skepticism in U.S. courtrooms. The state of Texas will now license immigrant family detention centers. 2 Texas facilities that house thousands of mothers and children had previously been in risk of closure due to a ruling this past summer. The federal court ruling stated children were allowed to live in the detention centers only if licensed by state child welfare agencies. According to Family and Protective Services spokesman Patrick Crimmins, the South Texas Family Residential Center and Karnes County Residential Center will now have to apply for licenses, which are almost assured. Officials say the licenses will not only protect the children, but aid in immigration control.
UT students are now the target for scammers. Students are receiving phone calls from scammers claiming that they are part of the UT Financial Aid Office. UTPD urges students to end the call immediately if the scammer asks to meet in person or request a money wire transfer. UTPD also says restricting personal information in the UT directory will help prevent students from being a victim. AT&T announced that it will be field testing 5G high-speed mobile service in Austin this coming summer. The company says they plan to expand testing to fixed locations in Central Texas, such as homes and businesses, by the end of the year. The company also says the 5G service can deliver data at a speed 10 to 100 times faster than the current 4G LTE formats, with the new 5G measuring speeds in gigabytes per second, not megabytes.
A fallen iceberg the size of Rhode Island led to the death of 150,000 Adelie penguins in Antarctica. The iceberg had been floating close to the coast for 20 years before it fell and lodged into a glacier. The population size of the colony has decreased from 160,000 to 10,000. Due to the iceberg, penguins must trek 1,120 square miles to find food, and many die in this process. Researchers believe the colony in Cape Denison will disappear in 20 years if the iceberg is not broken up. Google will be discontinuing its photo editor and sharing service Picasa over the next 3 months. The desktop app will close on March 15th, and the web albums will be archived on May 1st. According to Anil Sabharwal, who is the head of Google Photos, Google is making the move to focus on Google Photos, which allows users to sync photos between their devices with an unlimited storage capacity. Picasa users will still be able to access their existing data through Google Photos and can make the switch from Picasa to Google simply by signing in.
Well, the weather this weekend felt so much warmer than what we've been seeing the past few weeks. It just seems like Texas can't decide what temperature it wants to be. I never know whether to wear short sleeves or long sleeves.
Yes, it definitely feels like we keep going back to hot and cool temperatures. Maybe this week we'll finally see consistent weather conditions. Our Blake Carter is live in the Weather Center. Blake, what's the forecast this week?
Well, those sunny skies will still be visible throughout the days this week, but some rain may be coming upwards this upcoming weekend. I'll have more on this after the break.
Have a news tip or story idea? Call the KVR News Tip Line, 475-8181.
Day. Here's a look to your week ahead in weather. This week looks pretty promising, but as we get closer into the weekend, it is possible that we may see some storm activity before next Monday. Tonight, we have a low around 46 with clear conditions and virtually no wind. Tuesday looks like we'll have sunny and clear weather. We're expecting a high near 80, and the low will drop down to about 47 in the evening. Wednesday morning may reach into the high 70s, while the night will be mostly clear with an expected low in the mid-50s. Watch out for Thursday, however, as we will have mostly sunny skies throughout the day with a high in the low 80s, but we're also anticipating wind gusts as high as 20 miles per hour that may sustain all the way into the night with highs in the upper 50s, so be conscious about that. Friday's expected highs and lows are about the same as Thursday's in the lower 80s and upper 50s. Saturday is looking to be mostly cloudy throughout the day with highs in the upper 70s and lows at night dropping into the upper 50s. Finally on Sunday, where we'll have the best chance of rain throughout the week, we'll have a 20% chance of showers in the day with highs in the lower 80s. On Sunday night, we'll have a 40% chance of not only showers, but also some possible thunderstorms, lows in the mid-50s. So feel free to dress lightly for most of this week, but be sure to accommodate for some moderate winds on Thursday and have your umbrella handy on Sunday in case it does rain. Live in the Weather Center, Blake Carter, KVR News.
Thanks, Blake. Well, sounds like we're going to have a little bit better weather. That'll be great. It'll still be nice. College Press Box's Emily Stone will be in the studio to talk Longhorn sports after the break. Stay tuned.
Now, KVR News at 9 Sports.
Welcome back to KVR News. I'm College Press Box's Emily Stone. The Texas women's basketball team took on Oklahoma State last Wednesday at home. Let's go to the Irwin Center for the highlights. Women's basketball getting pumped up for their match against the Cowboys. Oklahoma State took the early lead off a couple of buckets from Brittany Martin. The Horns and the Cowboys traded buckets for the remainder of the first half, with Boyd's basket bringing the Longhorns ahead. There's one from Oklahoma State and then back to the Longhorns. Texas leads by 4 at the break, 31-27. Now in the second half, Empress Davenport makes a one-handed pass to Ariel Atkins, and McCartney once again with the floater, bringing Texas out to an 8-point lead after the third quarter. Empress then makes a deep jumper, and the Horns are taking control. McCarty makes the assist to Lang, putting in a layup, and taking Ariel Atkins to a 3 to close out a win for the Longhorns. The Horns win 70-55, bringing their record 22-2. They take on Kansas State at home on Wednesday. College Press Box's very own Katerina Biancardi has more on the win.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. One of the oldest cliches in sports. But for the Texas women's basketball team, this cliche holds true. Oklahoma State came into Austin last Wednesday looking to upset the Horns. And during the first 10 minutes of contest play, Coach Karen Aston says her team looked frozen.
It seemed like we were a little bit frozen to start the game, and I don't know if we were nervous because we knew that this was going to be a very challenging game.
After a slow start in the first quarter, Texas rallied an unstoppable offense. The Horns took control in the paint, securing their way to victory.
Well, I was just thinking that I need to do something to help our team win, and my teammates, I knew that if I attacked, I can get them open and get the post open. So I just did what Coach asked us to do, and it worked out.
Everybody becomes a part of it, no matter what it is that's going on. I mean, Brooke hasn't been frustrated that she's not getting any threes. She just makes the decision to drive it and kick it to someone else.
We have a attacking mindset. I know Coach Travis comes in every day and tells us that we have to be aggressive, and so us attacking opens up things for Amani and opens up things for other guards, and so we just have to keep attacking.
I think I'm getting more comfortable with just actually playing basketball and being on the court. My teammates constantly talk to me, talk me through different plays and different things like that. So I think they're helping me a lot to get more comfortable on the court.
I thought we had really good, great contributions off the bench. Jordan Hosey gave us good minutes. Kelsey was terrific. Brady gave us good minutes. So I think we're starting to get into a flow.
There's really no secret. It's just go out there and play hard.
I think it's a sign of maturity that we don't get bothered by great starts or bad starts, because it is about how you finish.
Texas faces the final stretch of Big 12 conference play over the next 2 weeks. Katerina Biancardi, College Press Box.
At last night's NBA All-Star Game, Kobe Bryant was given a tribute. Magic Johnson gave a heartfelt speech to the 18-time All-Star and 4-time All-Star Game MVP. Kobe thanked his fans for voting him into the starting spot. So Emily, when you look back on Kobe's career, what do you think the biggest impact he's made?
I mean, Avery, there's not enough time in the show to talk about what an impact Kobe's made on the NBA, but honestly, just the impact he's made on the other players in the league. Each one after the game went up, and they all had something really great to say about how he's influenced their play and how they've all looked up to him whenever they dreamed about playing professional basketball. They would all look to Kobe, and getting to play against him in his last game, they all said that was an amazing feeling. And he takes an amazing record of 18 All-Star Game appearances and 15 starts and 4 MVP awards. So I think he's just made a great impact, and he's walking away a champion, in my opinion.
Well, that's great. Congrats to him. Thanks for being here, Emily. And now our Faria Akram has your entertainment news. What's the latest buzz in Hollywood, Faria?
Thanks, Avery. Deadpool breaks a worldwide weekend record premiere. Kanye debuts his album, with some news that may be hard for some to believe. And find out which of your favorite artists have snagged a Grammy. I'll have more after the break.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Ryan Reynolds had record-smashing success this holiday weekend with his new movie, Deadpool. The film grossed a record-breaking $132.7 million, making it one of the best showings of all time for a superhero movie. Deadpool boasts the biggest R-rated opening of all time, the biggest February opening, and the top opening in history for 20th Century Fox. The crown for biggest R-rated opening previously belonged to The Matrix Reloaded at just under $92 million and had one of the longest held records in box office history. Kanye West claims he is $53 million in debt after announcing the release of his new album, The Life of Pablo. West tweeted that Mark Zuckerberg should invest $1 billion into Kanye West ideas. A year ago, West also said he was $16 million in debt after launching his first clothing line. The artist is known for tweeting questionable things and making comments on TV and social media. It's not clear if he was serious or not. Then again, who can tell with Kanye? And the Grammys, the biggest night of music, has finally arrived. The 58th Annual Grammy Awards kicked off tonight in Los Angeles, and the most famous musicians are up for the most coveted awards. Taylor Swift has already nabbed the Best Pop Vocal Album for her record-breaking 1989. Best Pop Solo Performance was won for Thinking Out Loud by everyone's favorite ginger, Ed Sheeran. The Weeknd's breakout song, Earned It, earned him the Best R&B Performance, and Best Pop Duo Performance was awarded to Uptown Funk. Best Dance Recording goes to Where Are You Now, better known as a song that put Justin Bieber back on the map. And it's Kendrick Lamar's year, as he's already received awards for Best Rap Song, Best Rap Performance, and Best Rap Album. The awards for Record, Album, and Song of the Year are coming up later on, so be sure to keep up with the show on our Twitter account at KVR News ENT. And that is all for our entertainment news tonight. Again, be sure to follow us on Twitter for updates at KVR News ENT.
Thanks, Faria. Can't wait to see who takes the big win. And thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Avery Travis. For news and weather updates throughout the week, you can follow us on Twitter at KVR News.
I'm Jina. Stay tuned for College Press Box up on Texas Student Television. Have a great night.